So first and foremost, I just want to say shout out to anybody and everybody that's been watching my videos while I've been at Anime Expo. I really appreciate all of the support that I've been getting, and you know, hopefully you guys stick around. But today we're back with another episode, or hello, another video regarding Shinobi Strikers. I got a couple of DMs on Twitter, a couple of comments asking me if I could go a bit more in depth into the gameplay that was there. So that's what I decided to do. Now you're gonna see gameplay from two different people. I couldn't record my own gameplay because I was there alone. I would have definitely done things differently as opposed to the people that were playing, but you know, you work with what you get. So these people were nice enough to let me record while they were playing. I was just recording gameplay, not them themselves. So shout out to them. I just want to say that the layout for the controller is actually pretty simple. So let's say for X you have jump. Circle is throwable object. Now in the video yesterday, or 2 days ago rather, I think I said that was kunai. That is wrong. Believe me, I saw. Because there are multiple classes, as you guys know. There are range, defense, attack, and healer. Healer does not have a throwable object like kunai. From the build that was at Anime Expo, healer actually has the paper healing scrolls. You place it on the ground and it forms like a circle, I guess, which anybody in that perimeter would get heals, which is actually really clutch. Now, the defense characters they have, I guess, bombs, like literal bombs. They have a high arch, so it's really difficult to get them, you know, they're not as direct as kunai. I guess you have to, throw them a little bit preemptively or a little bit later, depending on what it is you're trying to accomplish with them. But as far as I've seen, those are the only three options. Maybe there might be like some poison scrolls that you can throw, different things like that. But as far as the Anime Expo build, that was it. That was all they had. Now, while I was actually playing and watching, I don't know if it'll be in the video, there was actually a lot of jutsu that I didn't necessarily notice on the first through third day. Like Shikamaru's Shadow Strangle. That is there. In the attack, is it attack? No, in the defense section, you know. Okay, so let me break it down. So there is attack, there is range, there is defense, and there is healer, right? That's obvious. But in that section, the builds that were at Anime Expo actually were different. So the defense, you could either have Kisame's weapon, which is shark skin, or you could have Hidan's weapon, and then you would have jutsu based on that. The people who had Hidan's weapon actually had the spiky human boulder. Now, what the spiky human boulder did was, I mean, essentially, you know what the spiky human boulder is. You just turn into a big-ass ball of hair, essentially, and you can roll. It's extremely mobile. It's actually really, it lasts for, like, let's say a good 10 seconds, maybe more like 6, but you can get a far distance from that. I don't think you can get hit out of it with just a normal attack. I think if anybody goes towards you with a normal attack, they will get hit back. And you would have, I guess, some sort of armor or invincibility frames. But I do know that a jutsu will knock you out. Now, as far as the jutsus go, there is tracking. Disgusting tracking on Kisame's water shark jutsu. Fireball, Rasengan, Rasen Shuriken, all of that has tracking as well, but it's not that bad. It's more like storm tracking. That's where I think they took a lot of inspiration from. So, like, you guys know in Storm where you shoot the fireball and then it'll curve to the right, but it won't be something disgusting. That's essentially what's going on here. Same thing with the Rasen Shuriken and the Water Shark Jutsu. Although the Water Shark is, I guess, a bit more accurate, if you want to say that. There are also Deidara's two birds that he has in Storm. Is it in Storm? Yeah, his jutsu in Storm. That jutsu is actually a jutsu in this game, which I was honestly really surprised to see because I didn't know how many jutsu were in this game. I thought it was, you know, just basic. But no, they were actually way more in-depth than I even thought about. Now, aside from that, there was also his C4 explosion. I forget what he calls it. I think it's like Karakura or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. If I botched the pronunciation, my bad. Naruto's dope, but I don't remember that part in you know, in depth. Anyways, that one is your like ultimate jutsu. So once you load it up on the bottom left, there is a little circle. Once that goes full, once the circle gets full with the blue bar, which I assume is just like charged chakra, you actually have a chance to do your ultimate jutsu. Now that ultimate is just where he gets really big and blows himself up. Obviously, it would be a clone for yourself, but it is something that does devastating damage. Along with that, there's Shikamaru's, the way he killed Hidan. That is also an ultimate jutsu. Sai has an ultimate jutsu. Rasengan is just a normal jutsu, which I found really weird, but you do run pretty fast. Same thing with Lightning Edge. You actually travel a pretty far distance and you can hit, but it's moderate damage. It's nothing too crazy. Now, the weapons, from what I've seen, there is sword. There's just the regular sword. There is Kisame's weapon, the shark skin. There's Hidan's weapon. That's all I've seen just for like weapons that you could carry around. But from what I can tell, I was talking to one of the staff right there, and he was telling me that there's going to be a lot of different variations of the weapons, and most classes are actually going to have a specific move pool of jutsu. So you're not really going to see healers with the fireball jutsu, but you're going to see healers with more, I guess you could say, defensive jutsu rather than just straight healing jutsu. So let's say like a rock wall, because that was actually a defensive jutsu, the rock wall. A healer might be able to, if you know, have that if the person deems it, you know, worthy, I guess. But in terms of just sheer customization, all of that will be really, really in depth. So all moves have tracking. I already went over that. Customization options as far as you fight. Sorry, I have a list of what I wanted to talk about. So let me just read through this real quick. I already talked about how the kunai are not just kunai. They actually have bombs, scrolls for healing, which is actually really cool because rather than the kunai, they just pick people off at a distance and they're really direct, really quick. But if you can have an attack character with replacing kunai with your actual healing scroll, that'll be actually extremely good because there are a charge. If you look at the bottom right, the kunai, I think you got about 3 or 4 before you need to charge up. And the same thing with the healing scrolls. I think you only get 2 for that though, because it is kind of, you know, really helpful. I said, you know, twice, but it's fine. As far as I know, you know, I'm not partnered with Bandai. Bandai doesn't know I exist. But I was talking with the dude for a while, and he was telling me that although you're not a healer, you don't have to be a healer to run something like that. Jutsu may be a little different. Customization options as far as throwable objects, you can pretty much create that in your own class. Like in your own character, you can deem what's worthy to you. But as far as, you know, jutsu goes, you're not going to have an offensive healer. That's kind of eh. He was telling me that he wasn't really sure, but that was most likely not the case. Now, hopefully I can get some good footage out to you right now. Like, hopefully what you're seeing is good footage to you, because there are different things that you can do as far as movement. A lot of people that I saw were, I guess, trying the game out for the first time, so they weren't really the best. But this guy right here, the one that's playing right now with the Hidan weapon, he was actually pretty damn good. So shout out to that guy. And yeah, so pretty much if you have any questions aside from, like, you know, the stuff that I went through, or even about the stuff that I went through, go ahead and just let me know in the comments. I'll be glad to explain it even more in depth. Follow me on Twitter, DM me there, or just, you know, at me on a mention me rather, and I'll go a little more in depth there rather than in the comments. But, you know, this is the last Shinobi Strikers video I'm gonna have, because I couldn't really record that much footage before the actual next beta, because there will be a next beta. They want to make sure that everything is ready to go, so I can say, like, I don't know, this is just a clean guess, I say 2-3 weeks from now maybe we might get an announcement on the beta or the actual beta. So I'm hoping to look forward to that. I know a lot of people were actually telling me that there are already leagues and discords ready for this game, so go ahead and feel free to look around on that. My last video rather is on the Shinobi Strikers Reddit, so shout out to whoever put it there. As always, if you did enjoy, go and leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Deuces.